Renaissance fam, Renaissance Cam here, back in effect. Welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, if y'all new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell to be alerted when these videos drop. I hope everybody's doing well. Me personally, I'm doing just fine. All right, I can't complain. Just living this life one day at a time. So as you guys can see, we back in the kitchen, so y'all know what that means. I got another banging recipe for y'all to try. Now, let's talk about the subject of oxtail, all right? Oxtail is one of those foods that, you know, it's very, very controversial, you know, and it's very, very trending right now. So, well, trendy, all right? I'm not gonna say trending, I'm gonna say trendy, because everybody's making it, all right? I've seen so much oxtail misbehavior, from oxtail egg rolls, oxtail mac and cheese, smoked oxtail, you know, oxtail rasta pasta, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. You know, I'm not downing anybody for it. You know, it's very, very creative. But my problem is the price on these things. It used to be scrap meat back in the day. It was just something that you ate when you were actually poor. Now it's like a rich man's sport, eating oxtail, all right? So I got good news and I got bad news, all right? Good news is we went to the bank today and we took out a loan to get these oxtails, and we got them, all right? We got them. We were approved for them, but the bad news is these oxtails won't be paid off for 70 days. So with that being said, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button right now, to help me pay for these oxtails. But yeah, this used to be an old scrap meat. Butchers threw it away, didn't have time for it, didn't really see the true value of it, right? They threw it away, or they just, you know, gave it away. Cause, you know, they didn't realize this is, you know, gold right here. But now everybody realizes it's gold, and they're extremely expensive. When the demand gets so high, the supply gets so low, you know, the prices go up and the oxtails actually begin to shrink. You know, they shrink. You know why? Because they're cutting them off early. You know what I'm saying? The cow can't even get horns no more because they're killing them so early to get the tail off. That's really the high commodity of the animal now. It's not the fillet. It's not the, you know, the ribeye. It's the tail. They want the tail. So with all that being said, we make an oxtail lo mein with shrimp today, and it's gonna be delicious. Let's get started. All right, guys, so we're gonna kick this thing off with our ingredients first, all right? Now, all the ingredients will be in the description, so don't focus on that too much, all right? So right here, we got our gold, okay, our oxtails. What I did was I trimmed them, I washed them real good with some lime, and then we got our shrimp, of course, peeled and deveined. We got all our veggies, and we're gonna get started, all right? So first things first, we wanna season our oxtails with some salt. We're gonna use a little bit of black pepper, and we also gonna go in with some of that oregano, all right? Be generous with these seasonings, okay? As long as they're not too heavy in salt, you can be generous, all right? We wanna add a lot of flavor to this dish. Go in with some garlic powder, also some onion powder. Then of course, we're gonna go in with that paprika, all right? Next, we're gonna go in with some ground ginger, and then we're gonna follow that up with some of your favorite all-purpose seasoning, all right? You can use whatever you have. Just make sure the salt content is not too heavy, all right? Next, we're gonna go in with some olive oil, and then we're gonna hit it with some of that browning. Now, the browning, less is more, so don't add too much or your oxtails will end up being bitter, all right? We're gonna give these a nice mix with our hands. Make sure that seasoning is coated perfectly, and then we're gonna take us a cast iron skillet. We're gonna get that heated up, and we're gonna start searing these bad boys, all right? We wanna get some nice color and lock all that flavor in. So do yourself a favor, get your cast iron skillet and coat that thing with some olive oil, all right? Olive oil, avocado oil, whatever kind of oil you got, just something that doesn't burn too fast. We wanna get a nice sear on these oxtails, all right? Put them down, make sure they get full contact with that pan. Normally I would say don't overcrowd your pan, but cast iron skillets, they conduct heat really well and they distribute all over the pan, so you don't have to worry about that. But as you can see, we're starting to get some beautiful color on these oxtails, and they're about to be ready for the Instant Pot. So next, what we want to do is we're gonna start cutting up our veggies for our marinade / braising liquid, all right? We're just gonna cut up some peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers, green peppers. We're gonna cut those up and we're gonna throw them into a food processor or a blender, whatever you have, and we're just gonna kind of pulse it until it, you know, has a nice smooth consistency, and we're just gonna dump all of this goodness on top of those oxtails, all right? It's gonna incorporate very well with the beef broth, and it's just gonna make a beautiful braising flavoristic liquid for our oxtails. Now do note that we're not using the entirety of each one of these vegetables, all right? We're cutting up some of it because the rest of these vegetables are gonna be chopped up to go into our lo mein noodles, okay? So we're gonna chop these up roughly just to throw them in there, but then the rest of it, we're gonna end up chopping those up julienne form and throwing those into the noodles. Now this right here is a green habanero, all right? Normally I would use a Scotch bonnet. They have similar flavors, but Scotch bonnet is a little bit different than a habanero, but whatever you can find, use that, all right? We also got some green onions. We're throwing those in there. Just season with a little bit of salt, some olive oil, and then we're gonna add a splash of apple cider vinegar in there. That's gonna bring this all together, all right? We're gonna throw our lid on, just pulse it a few times, and then we're gonna let it roll, all right? Just let it roll, become a nice smooth consistency, and this is gonna be perfect to dump on top of our oxtails, all right? So right here we got our Instant Pot. This is our trusty dusty Instant Pot with the dent in the side of it, and we ready to roll, all right? We're gonna throw these oxtails in there. We're gonna cover them with some of that marinade that we made earlier, and then we're gonna throw in some of that beef broth, all right? We wanna cover these in beef broth and make sure they're fully submerged. We don't want anything being cooked uneven, all right? So once we get those fully submerged, we're gonna put that lid on, and we're gonna cook these bad boys for about 45 minutes, all right? You can probably get away with 40 minutes, 35 minutes, but I won't mind to be super tender, all right? So next, like those vegetables I was telling you about, we about to julienne these up real nicely. This is gonna go inside of our lo mein noodles, all right? Stir fry style. So cut those up really thin. Green bell peppers, red bell peppers, yellow bell peppers, onion, garlic, ginger, all that good stuff, all right? We throwing that directly into the lo mein noodles. That's gonna actually start the base for our lo mein. Then we're gonna throw our lo mein in a little bit later. So these right here are my noodles of choice, all right? You can also use spaghetti noodles if that's all you can find. I couldn't find the exact lo mein noodles, but these work perfect, to be honest, all right? So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take some sesame oil and we're gonna throw some in this wok, and we're gonna begin to cook down our veggies, all right? In the meantime, we're gonna make our sauce, which is super simple, okay? So we're gonna take some cold water and we're gonna add about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, all right? Next, we're gonna add in some brown sugar, just a little bit of sesame oil, some hoisin sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, as well as some oyster sauce, all right? Once all that's in there, we're gonna take our whisk and we're gonna go to town. Then we're gonna add our shrimp to our veggies, add a little bit of all-purpose seasoning, whatever you got. Add a little bit of that sauce. We're not gonna use the whole thing because we're gonna have to balance it out, all right? But as you can see, our oxtails are done. They're falling apart just like I like them. And we're gonna get all of these out of the pot and we're gonna begin to break them up with our hands, all right? Use your hands. That's the only way to make sure you don't get any bones in there, okay? Because some of these bones are extremely small, but look how well that meat just falls off the bone. It's perfect. So once we get all of the oxtail meat broke down, what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw those noodles into the pan with the shrimp and veggies. Then we're gonna add in about half of that oxtail meat into the pan, all right? That just gets it all incorporated into the noodles so you get oxtail in every bite. Then we're gonna top the rest of the dish with the rest of the oxtail meat, all right? Throw some green onions on there to make it pretty. And then we're gonna finish that off with some of our favorite teriyaki sauce, all right? This is optional, but this is my way of doing it, okay? As you can see, it's looking beautiful. I don't even think a magazine could have did this as much justice, all right? Let's eat. All right, guys, y'all know the drill. We put in the hard work, food is done, time to taste it. Let's get to it. Listen, y'all, this is crazy, all right? This might be one of the best things I ever made. And I'm not gonna lie to you, all right? I made a lot of good stuff. But this right here, I don't honestly know too many things. For my taste, I don't know too many things better than this, all right? Like, I love Asian-inspired cuisine, I love Caribbean-inspired cuisine, and I love fusion cuisine, you know what I'm saying? Mixture of, you know, a number of different cultures, you know, I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think it's, you know, tradition breaking and all that other stuff, but I don't get into all that. If something's good, it's good. You can't, you know, judge stuff off of just people altering recipes, all right? That's the way of the world nowadays. There's some things I keep traditional, and some things I might add a little twist to it. I'm gonna add my twist to it regardless, but as far as, you know, dibbling and dabbling in other cultures, you know, trying to, you know, get like this melting pot of a dish, this right here, the execution is perfect, all right? To be honest, that one plate probably ran me about $40, just a plate. I still got some left back there, but I got that one plate right there probably run you about $40. You know, if I had a restaurant and I had, you know, a good serving of food like this, you know, considering the ingredients, I'm charging you $40 for that plate. I don't care. You're gonna feel my pain just as much as I did. Need I say more, y'all? Y'all just gotta try this, all right? The visual is there. You know what I'm saying? That's all y'all really get. Y'all can't taste these flavors I'm getting right here. They're one of a kind. Those oxtails, perfectly tender, pairs really well with the noodles. The shrimp just, you know, takes it over the top. Now, you're probably gonna end up having to go to the bank to get that loan out to get these oxtails, but it's well worth it, okay? It's well worth it. The experience, the taste, the flavors, it's all worth it, trust me. But like I said, you guys, I appreciate y'all for watching this video. Make sure if you enjoyed this video, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button, and most of all, you hit that notification bell, all right? That's gonna alert you every time I drop a video, all right? You don't wanna miss out. I'm dropping a lot of heat this week. I'm dropping a lot of heat in the future, okay? So everybody, make sure y'all tapped in with me, and we're gonna have some fun this year, all right? But yeah, with that being said, I'll see y'all next time. Y'all keep on learning, and I'm out.